Friday, February 17th edition of the Carolina Weather Video, and all eyes on our incoming weekend storm system. It's a very complex forecast here, and as I've kind of been highlighting all week, there's going to continue to be some forecast adjustments necessary, and that's actually going to continue to be the case right on through the next 24 hours as well. Really, I'm going to spend this entire video talking about the weekend storm system. Today will be a nice day after morning fog. We'll see a lot of sunshine in many spots, and our highs up around the 60-degree mark. But let's start with the HPC snow charts for day 3. This is Sunday, and this is the probability of at least 4 inches of snow. And notice the highest probability certainly up there into the Virginias, and this is the probabilities of at least 8 inches of snow up in the Virginias as well. Now let me show you I'm going to show you a ton of model data here. And the first thing I'll show you is the RPM modeling. Okay, this is valid tomorrow afternoon, early in the afternoon. Pretty main line of storms down in Louisiana. From there, we see that rain and some thunderstorm activity move into our region as we get into the Saturday night time frame. I really think now that we'll be able to eke out a dry forecast tomorrow for Saturday, but as we get into tomorrow evening and night, the rain will spread in. Could certainly be some thunderstorms involved here in the coastal plain. I didn't really draw that well. Let me try that again. Could certainly be some thunderstorms involved here in the coastal plain. Maybe a few severe storms too. That'll be something to watch. And then watch as we get into the day Sunday. Okay, there you go. This is early to mid-afternoon Sunday. And again, this is the RPM model. Look at it kicking the precipitation over to some wintry precip and a good bit of the Piedmont, and that sweeps eastward. And a lot of the state of North Carolina sees the precip end as a few snowflakes on the RPM. And in terms of snow accumulation, look at that. That's what it put out with its early morning run today. And that shade of light blue you see kind of roughly along in north of I-40, that's over 2 inches of snow that it puts on the ground. And then the amounts, of course, really ramp up the further north you go. Big snow event up into the Virginias. Okay, that's one model. Let's see what's going on in the upper levels. This is the European model. And there is our incoming disturbance. And really what we're looking at is the timing of this disturbance as well as a northern branch piece of energy that drives a cold front through. And there's been a general slowdown in this disturbance on the modeling in the past 24 hours, and that allows some of this colder air to get into place before the precipitation ends. Here's the look at Sunday early afternoon on the European. Okay, let's see, where do I want to go first? All right, let's go to the GFS first. Again, today we're in good shape. Tomorrow I think we can hold off the rain until after sunset in most spots, but as we get into the evening, the rain spreads in. Now, this is the GFS model, the 0Z run. Low pressure in Alabama. Okay, 6 hours later, you begin to see the low run into a wedge and reform along the coast. And 6 hours later, that energy transfer continues, and then here we are by Sunday evening. That coastal low is the dominant low completely now, and cold air rushing in. The cold air really doesn't get in here in time on the GFS for much of the area outside of the mountains to see any snow. Okay, let's go to the European. 1 a.m. Sunday, rain spreading in. There comes the low pressure riding up into Alabama and Georgia, and the energy transfer begins to take place. Again, you can easily see you have a cold high pressure sitting right here. And that's wedging down the eastern side of the mountains. The low pressure really can't run directly into that wedge as long as it's getting reinforced, and so you certainly end up with that energy transfer to the coast taking place. Okay, here we are Sunday evening on the European, and then as we get into deeper into the Sunday evening time frame, the precip lingers enough to end as a little bit of snow. Now let me show you a couple of the 850 millibar charts. Let's go back to 60 hours. All right, that's what the surface looks like. And you get up to 5,000 feet, and obviously it's still pretty warm Sunday morning. This is 7 o'clock Sunday morning, so pretty much everybody on the European in the region is rain at that point. But we go out to 72 hours. Oh, that's the GFS. I'm sorry. Let me grab the European model. 72 hours. There's the low pressure along the coast. Still some precipitation hanging across a good chunk of the region, even back into Kentucky and Tennessee. And the 850 temperatures have really crashed. In fact, in northwestern North Carolina, they're already down below 4, below 0. So the 850s really crashed. As that coastal low takes over, that's when you see the temperatures aloft really cooling. And that's when you see that rain snow line kind of trying to work south across the region. Okay, let's look at the Canadian. Then I'll show you the precip type contours on the Canadian. Let's start off with Sunday morning. 6 hours later, as we get into early Sunday afternoon, that's what it would look like. The coastal low taking over. This is 0Z Monday, so 7 o'clock Sunday evening, 1 o'clock Monday morning, and finally out to sea it goes by daybreak on Monday. Now, in terms of precipitation types here on the Canadian, here you go. This is about, let's see, this will be about 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Rain across much of the region, but northwestern North Carolina and snow. We go out to afternoon on Sunday, and that rain snow line working south to roughly the Triad. And as we get into the evening hours, the deeper moisture pulling away, a few lingering snowflakes or some drizzle. Now, I will say this, to add to the forecast complexity here, and let me just pull up this chart to kind of talk about it. To add to the forecast complexity, as the low pressure pulls away, you lose some of the greater lift back here. And you've got to have saturated air up in the what we call the snow growth region. In other words, the area aloft where the temperature is at least 10 degrees below zero. That's what you have to get snowflakes form. Otherwise, if you don't have that, you end up with some type of other precipitation, be it freezing, drizzle, depending on the surface temperature, whatnot. And there is some signs on some of the modeling that we'll lose the moisture in the snow growth region as we get into the day on Sunday. So that kind of makes the forecast even more complex. So as it stands now, I'm just kind of going to have to say that as Sunday unfolds, there is the chance for the rain to end as some wintry precip from north to south across the region. But it's just a little too tough to diagnose exactly who might see what. There is the chance to get some snow on the ground, even down maybe to the Triad, if assuming we can keep that moisture up in the snow growth region. And certainly the northern foothills, the mountains up into the Virginias look set for a pretty good snow event. But we'll keep working on these details here as we go forward in time. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.